I hope you see me. I see that Crystal is asking about the presentation. Presentation is added in the page second meeting. If you open it, you'll see it. It's at the top. And we're starting with the content very soon. But before that, I would like to explain again how to join TwinSpace project, because some of us haven't joined yet. So to be sure that you're sure, I'm going to shortly show it. So I'm going to share my screen in a second, and I'm going to shortly explain how to join a TwinSpace. And I'm going to make it bigger so it's easier for you to see. So first of all, you go to eTwinning net. Then you go to desktop. And for your safety, in TwinSpace, to invite somebody, in eTwinning, to invite somebody to your project and TwinSpace, you have to have them on your contacts so that you didn't get a lot of spam. Therefore, first of all, I invited you to contacts, and that's shown in notifications here. You see that some of you, Helen as well has accepted my contact invitation. I'll just model it on you then. When you have accepted my contact invitation and are in my contacts, I go to my project. This is our project here. I choose Add New Partners and look for Helen. There you go. And I'm inviting you to join our project. Now you should be able to see the invitation up here and should be able to accept the invitation. Be sure if you have more than one school that you've joined from, it will ask you to choose a school. So be sure that you choose a school and then that's okay. And when you've done that, in your project list, you'll be able to see our project and go to our TwinSpace. So there you go. If somebody's still not on TwinSpace or have any problems with this, please email Lena and she'll help you. And if there will be more help needed, we'll just figure it out together, okay? So that you have all the materials available. And for today's meeting, there you go. There's all the pages, and we need a second meeting, which is about project themes and partners. Oh, that's not the right one. Sorry. Yeah, this is the right one. And I'm also adding quickly Helena to the right project. There you go. So, on the second meeting, if you open it, you see the meeting presentation right on the top. Just click on it and the download will start and you have the presentation in your computer. In case something glitches with internet, you can still follow all the meeting by using your presentation. All of the other activities we're going to do are also on this page. I'll stop sharing my screen now. Elena says that the sound is quite bad. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my video off because that might improve the sound. Okay. It could be that while I'm sharing the screen, the sound is affected because sometimes the internet is not fast enough to do all those things together. If the sound is fine with my video on, I keep it on, but I will try to not share the screens. If there's still problems with sound, just write it down. We'll know, and I'll just turn the video off. If it's fine now, I'm not turning my screen sharing on then. Okay. So, I hope that everyone has their presentations now. In case you don't, go on TwinSpace and try to get it. And I'll share our presentation again, and we'll go forward with meeting. Just checking for the sound. No, Lena, actually, that's the wrong one. I also invited you to the right one, which is creating eTwinning projects. Okay? Sorry about that. Okay, let's go. So, first of all, you had your first home task, and we've briefly run through everything that you've done, but you still have today. And for those who had some issues, I'm just saying that me and Lena are going to look through all the homeworks Sunday morning. So if you make your profile until Sunday morning, we won't know that you handed it in later. Use it wisely. So if you still haven't done your homework, do it. If you have any problems, please write to Lena or to me and we'll help you with it. Okay? We're here to help you always. One important thing is some of you have created your profiles on eTwinning. eTwinning profiles are not the same as TwinSpace profiles. So your home task is to create a TwinSpace profile. That's through the TwinSpace platform that we use, where all the content of the meetings is located. So, in talking about altogether your home tasks, there are many strong sides, and I'm really happy to see that there's a wide variety of skills and experiences that you have, also expertise in plenty of fields. And I would like to suggest you to remember that that information is there when you choose your project partners. Read their profiles. Lots of valuable things there. Also, mostly they're very polite answers and thought through answers containing all the information that matters. And I was very happy to see a positive attitude and also your motivation to collaborate. But there were some drawbacks as well that I'm going to point out so that we can improve the way that we work. First of all, some of you had technical issues, mainly about adding photos or finding where to edit profile, also joining TwinSpace. We've solved most of them, but just to sum up, the maximum size of files you can add in TwinSpace is 24 megabytes, which means that if you have a bigger photograph, you might not be able to attach it. Also, if you have a huge photograph, you can always open it in, say, Paint or any other program for editing pictures. Just save it as JPG or PNG, any other format, and it will decrease. It will be smaller, so you can add it to TwinSpace, even if it's a large photo. So there, with the photographs. One other thing, although mostly the answers were thought through, positive, and I understood why they're there, some of the answers could have been improved. please try to express yourself clearly, because it's very hard in the online medium to know if you're joking or if you're being serious, because nobody sees your emotion. So try to be brief, precise, and very, very clear. And think about all the information you add online, because all of it creates how other people perceive you, and that's a very, very strong tool in finding good project partners. So think about what you say. It's even more so in online than in face-to-face conversations, because in online you might be misinterpreted, or also remember that all the information is saved there for all the time. Okay. And also, when I told you about the home task, I mentioned that, of course, project support team is also on TwinSpace, so they can help you with tasks and other things, but they will not be available to carry out projects with you. So those who wanted to carry out project with Klaus or with me or with Santa, you won't be able to do that because they're not participants in the course. Just be sure to check if they're participants or if they're support team. You can do it on Project Journal, which is also on Pages. Everyone's there, all participants, all project leaders, and support team. So that's the main things about the home tasks, and I see that Lena hasn't added any more crucial information that you asked in questions, so I'll just go on with it. And about this meeting, our big result, of course, is still that you carry out an eTwinning project. And for this meeting, you have to we will learn what are the project benefits in education. Also, what defines a good eTwinning project and how to evaluate eTwinning project. And those who haven't done it yet, please now is time to log in on your TwinSpace to find and download presentation. Second, meeting presentation. Remember, don't close any meeting or you leave this meeting. Keep it open in the background. Remember that you should use the links from the presentation you have downloaded, because sometimes when you click links in any meeting, they take you to wrong places, and that's not good. So just use the links from the presentations you've downloaded. And in a case you have any problems with hearing me, just follow through with the presentation, because all of the tasks are there and you should be able to participate anyway. Okay. There. Those who have downloaded presentation, I already see some of the thumbs up. I'll just reset it to be sure. Those who have downloaded presentation, remember on the top of your screen, there is a button, My Mood. Find it, and if you have the presentation, you're ready to go forward, thumbs up please, so I know that we can go forward. And I'm checking my thumbs up. Oh, I see lots of thumbs up. Galina, Helena, Natalia. Genevieve, I can't say all these names. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Anita, Sylvie, Ula, I still need your thumbs up to be sure that you have the presentations. Just reminding, the My Mood button is at the top of your screen. If you press it, you should be able to find thumbs up and vote so that I know that we can go forward with this. Just making sure. Okay, have lots of thumbs up there. Still some missing. Leonie, if you could please help Helene, Natalia, Roland, and Sylvie to get their presentations, I would be so grateful. If you cannot get them from TwinSpace, just send them to the emails. Yes. Okay. So, just to shortly remind you, and maybe someone's here that wasn't here last time, about the tool Sticky News, because we're going to use it for the next activity. Remember, you can add ideas by writing them down and clicking the blue Add button at the top. And you can vote for ideas by clicking on the blue Vote buttons. And you have to do both of those things. So, and the first task is, I have added 2 links that you'd open from your downloaded presentation. A first link takes you to all yearly prizes that eTwinning projects are awarded in Europe. And you should find projects that interest you most. Either it's the age group or the subject that you're interested in, or maybe you just find the idea of the project interesting. But I'll give you only 10 minutes. That means you'll probably be able to see 2, maybe 3 projects very quickly. And your task is to find 2 or maybe 3 projects that you really like or are interested in, and just look through those projects. I suggest that once you read the description of the project, you also see Project TwinSpace. At the bottom of the description, you can go to Project TwinSpace and look through activities that are on TwinSpace. I have to warn you, the TwinSpace will look differently because the TwinSpace we're working in now is the new version of it, and you'll see the old version of it, because this version is very new. It just came out in the October of 2014. So all the other projects will still be in the old TwinSpace. There. So your task is to find 2 to 3 projects, get known with them very quickly, very briefly, look through TwinSpace if you can, and then you have to write in Sticky News, you have to write at least 2, maybe 3 benefits that you see from, first, using project method in school, second, using international projects in school. So there are 2 questions. For each of those questions, write 2 to 3 benefits for using them. Okay? I will turn my sound off for a little bit, and I will turn my video off for a little bit, and I'll be back in 7 minutes. I hope you are reading your projects now. Small, tiny thing. For those who are lost, and don't know what we do, it's all written in the presentation. Please read it carefully. Everything's there, and both the links that you need are also there. If you click on those links, you open it, and you'll see what you have to do, okay? If you're lost, you don't know what to do now, please read the presentation carefully. I won't explain it now because some of us are reading the projects and I'm interrupting their talking. I'm turning my microphone off again. We'll be back in 5 minutes. So there's still 1.5 minutes left. So those who haven't started writing in the sticky news should go to sticky news now. Everyone who haven't added 2 to 3 benefits in sticky news should start doing it now. Wow, I see lots of ideas added there. The last minute, if you haven't added your ideas yet, you should do it now. Those who have added their ideas, read through what others have added, and the next task is to vote for 5 in each. So 5 things in each that you think are the most important. I will vote myself as well. Okay, those who still adding, add. And for others, look through what others have written and choose 5 things for each question that are most important in your opinion and vote for them. So 5 things. I'll do it myself. It's quite fun. And those who have finished voting, I see Garlina already has thumbs up. The others who have finished voting, please do thumbs up so that I know. You still have time to read through, but if you've done, just thumbs up so that I know that we can go forward if we have to. Okay, see lots of thumbs up there. And my work. Mm-hmm. And I see some people are still voting. Some people are still reading. We'll wait for them and we'll go further in 2 minutes. Okay? So try to choose, vote, and go further in 3 minutes. So Lian is telling me that should remind you where the hands are. If you look at the top of your screen in any meeting, so the top of your screen in any meeting, there's a button called My Mood with the human profile on it. If you click the button, you can vote either thumbs up if everything's okay, thumbs down if something's not okay, or you can vote a raised palm, which means that you have a question. In case you have a question, type it in the chat there, down below. And Liana reads the chat all the time, and when there's something important, she tells me on Skype, so I can answer that, okay? So the last half minute, those who haven't voted, this is your last chance to vote. Ula, I see your thumbs down. Please write what's the problem in chat. Mm-hmm. We still have Anita, Helen, Natalia, Genevieve to vote. So 3 people still voting. I know that I cannot share my screen today because of the internet speed. So I won't do it now, but in case there are still any questions, please add it to the end evaluation form, and I'll look through it, okay? Good. Natalia is also in the right project now. So we have a list of benefits from project methods in education, as well as benefits of international projects in education. We will return to that list later. If you have any new ideas you want to add, you can do that anytime and vote for those ideas that you want to see in the top. Okay? So, and now the fun part. Now the fun begins. I thought about it for a while. I knew that I wanted to mix groups and approximately same amount of people. Therefore, I've made groups with your birthdays. And your first task is on TwinSpace. If you open forums, so go on TwinSpace, open forums, and then in group discussions, you'll see groups made by birthdays. For instance, teachers whose birthday is on January or February are in the same group. Teachers whose birthday is in March or April are in the same group. And so on, so on, so on. So, your first task, please find your group. And let's see how many people will have birthday soon, okay? So please, on forum, find group discussion and go to the group that's the month that your birthday is on. Say hello to everyone, because that's going to be your group. And when you've done that, you have to talk together and think of what describe good eTwinning project. So you have seen examples of the projects that are awarded eTwinning Year Prize in Europe. You have written down ideas about what are the benefits of projects in education and international projects in education. Now, your task is to put those things together, add your pedagogical experience, and write down in one slide, only one slide, how would you define a good eTwinning project? There. I'm going to see if you have found your groups and if you're working on this page. Hope you are. So everyone should be in forums. Group discussions, and find the group in the month that you have birthday. So my birthday is in September. I would be in August and September group. I'll turn my sound off for a while, and you know what to do now. Any questions, you chat below. Talk on TwinSpace and make presentation slides. see that we only have one teacher whose birthday is in March and April, or September and October. I don't believe it. Again, everyone, please go to the forums and find your group. In the forum, you should discuss what are the main things that describe good eTwinning projects. And then, when you've done that, use the presentation and create a slide about your thoughts on this. Again, I'm turning my sound off and I'll be back in 7 minutes and you should be done. So I see that there is only one reply for teachers who have birthdays in March, April, and September and October. I will make a common slide for you, so just talk presentation instead, okay? I'm coming back. So, first of all, I see that you have used twin space forums, and I'm happy that we have groups for almost all the months, except for March and April, September and October. But we added them in the same group. On our presentations, we have January and February group, still writing ideas, lots of ideas there. And November and December group have added so many nice touches, snowflakes and so on. We also have lots of information from the July and August. I still don't see information from the big group, the 4-month group, where we don't have so many birthdays on. And I see that May and June is not filled yet, so please start your work. 2 more minutes to finish. And then we'll have a Valentine's Day activity. So there you go, a catch. 2 more minutes, write down all the things you can describe a good international project, and then you have a Valentine's Day activity. I'm also resetting the modes. In case you're done, please vote thumbs up again. Okay, so I know, because sadly I do not see you. That's the only way I could know. So you're done, thumbs up. Great. So that I know that you're done. For the rest of you, try finishing. I'm silent now. And I suppose some of you have added ideas before, but haven't added them to presentation. If you could just copy the ideas, because the ideas are the ones that really matter here, just the ideas. I mean, don't look at all those our achievers who have pictures and colors and stuff like that. That's an extra. But the most important is to add your ideas. And I see that we have thumbs up. We also have a question, but we also have quite many people who haven't finished this yet. So we'll give it a little more time. We'll give it a little bit more time so that others can finish their slides as well. There, I see. Aha. We have a cheat group. They wanted to be together so much, they even made their own slide. And it seems that all the slides are getting finished right now. Okay. And I also see many very good ideas there. So what we'll do now, our Valentine's Day activity. Those who are still writing, just finish the writing. Those with the thumbs up, you've already finished and are really achieving. You have to read what others have written. And you will have to add a heart to one statement that you haven't thought of yourself in your group work, or maybe that you want to highlight as very important. And to add heart presentation, you have to go to Insert, then you have to choose Shape, and under Shapes you'll find hearts. So that's an extra fun and activity for those who have finished sooner. Insert, Shapes, and the heart. I will put the picture in the presentation. If you enlarge it, that might help you to find it if you can't. And each of you only have one heart, okay? Each of you can only add one heart and make them a bit smaller so that we can see text. Thank you. Great. I see lots of hearts in color too. I have to add my own heart somewhere. This one. I'm adding my heart as well. Choose wisely, you only have one. Yeah. Great, yes. Yeah, if there are no technical issues, you should totally read those ideas. Copy. If you look at the top left of your screen, there's Insert, and then there's Shapes, Add Shape, and there's hearts in there. There is a picture of it on my presentation as well. If you have downloaded presentation, you can enlarge it, and it's visible. You can cheat and copy else's heart. Just add that one instead. Yeah, make it a bit smaller. And I'll add the heart to the right spot. Oh. There. I like this. It's very heartly. Lots of hearts here. Very nice ideas. And not enough space in one slide also. Great. Great. I hope you feel a little bit Valentine's as the Valentine's come very, very, and there we go. I have put this presentation on TwinSpace as well, so you can return to it anytime, and I'll just maybe make the text smaller so that you can see all of it in embedded presentation as well, and I would promise that add the heart to the right spot. So it may look a little bit different, but the content will be there. Good. So we have looked projects that have won awards in European contest. You have talked about the benefits of projects like that in education, both project method and international projects. And you have also put down your thoughts and ideas about what makes project a good project. What we're going to do now, I'm going to give you eTwinning project evaluation criteria. So I have written them a little bit longer then they're available on TwinSpace page. I would like you to read through them. There's a link at the bottom where they're available. And after you've done that, go back to your birthday groups in forums. So go back to your birthday groups in forums and ask questions there. If there are questions that your groupmates cannot answer, please add comment to the Google document. I will be looking and I will be answering your questions. But first of all, read it, then ask questions to your groupmates. And if there is something that you do not understand, please add it as a comment. I will have some things that I'm going to talk about anyway, because I know that they're problematic when evaluating projects sometimes, but I will also answer your comments. And I'm turning my video and sound off now, so you can work. I'll be back in 9 minutes. So, 2 more minutes left. 2 more minutes left. If you have talked in your groups, please, if there are any more questions that you want answered, add them to the evaluation criteria as comments. Again, to comment, just select the text, right-click, and choose comment. And the little box will pop where you can write in your comment and then save it. Okay. 1 more minute now. Add your comments, and then I'm going to shortly explain the main things you should know about criteria and answer your comments. Okay, so since Liana says that there are some disruptions to the sound, I'm not turning the camera back on, but I'm shortly explaining main things. And I see that I have also a question in chat. I'll answer that one as well. So about the criteria, I see that that we have a feature Jean here. I'll take in consideration your comments about the content, but I will answer the comments about how to use the criteria at the moment. And I'll start by talking about the first criteria, which is student involvement. I see that there are no specific questions that you had about it. But there is one thing that I want to add. So, for instance, in Latvia, when we evaluated the projects, nobody got the best points. None of the 24 projects got 3 points that were approved for year award. Because even when the students were actively involved and carried out the project idea, there were no projects where students are actually changing the project idea or making the project content. So that's the thing to think about when you plan your own projects, how to involve students in actually changing the project idea, because that's the way they can get maximum out of the project. So second criteria is curricular, I can't say it, sorry, integration. And here is can see, the main thing is you get maximum points if you have more than one subject involved and if there is a cross-curricular link involved. Communication between partners and collaboration between partners. I'll talk about those two things together. You get maximum points for communication during the project if there are different kinds of communication going on, like comparison, evaluation, also learning activities where students learn together. And if there is a platform that you use for the communication, there might be many platforms, but we are supposed, as evaluators, we are supposed to be able to follow through how the communication happens. Okay, so I don't think that there are comments about this. I will see through them at the end then. The use of technologies. I see there's a comment about copyrights. What I have to say about copyrights in general is that any piece of anything, either music or picture or painting or whatever, has belongs to the author by default, even if the author hasn't written anything. So the only way you can use any content is if you have the permission of the author to do so. And there are different ways how authors can give that permission. One of the ways is a license called Creative Commons. I will add information about that to our TwinSpace in the part where I describe different ICT tools, because that's connected. This is a license where author allows you to use his work even if you haven't asked him. So he has allowed you to use his work by default. There are different kinds of these licenses, but that allow you to do more or less things, but basically that's one way you can do it. Also, for instance, in YouTube, in standard license, it is said that if author publishes anything on YouTube, it means that you can use it, but only if it stays on YouTube. Or if you look for pictures, Flickr is a good portal to do it, because in Flickr there's also Creative Commons license available, as well as standard license, where authors allow you to use their creations. One thing to keep in mind is that either they have or haven't allowed, either if they have allowed you to use the content, you still have to write the name under it. You have to give authors credit. If you don't give authors credit, that's against law. So anything you use, music, pictures, it should have author's name underneath. And that is also a very important and good thing to teach your children. So just observe it yourselves and teach it to your children. Okay, and then there are more questions about this. About points 3 and 4. If there is I haven't seen a project like that, but that's just added so that you can use criteria fully, because in case there's nothing there, you can say that online safety is observed and copyright is respected because there's nothing there. And obviously you wouldn't want to give 2 points for nothing, right? So that's for that. Also, how much ICT can be used? And that's a very good question, because the amount is not the most important. You can use one technology, you can use only TwinSpace, or you can use tens of technologies, depending on your project. The main thing is that you're using it in a way that helps you moving towards the result you have planned, that you have thought through how to use those technologies. Okay? So the answer to that is use it as much as you like, but be sure that you use it smartly, not just for using different tools, but because it's good for the project and it's needed to carry it out, and it helps to improve something. Those are the questions. Yes, answered the points 3 and 4. And I still have some questions about the results. Also, before we go further about the use of ICT, there's also a point you haven't asked anything, but that's a point that's important, about online safety. And online safety means that you do not publish student pictures without their parents' consent. Also, you do not reveal any personal information or sensitive data in your project. That's very important. And another thing that sometimes you might get is that there are some tools that are free, but you shouldn't use them because they have advertisements. And having advertisements might mean that they can take your children to the places you don't want them to go. Okay? So be sure that the tools and the pages that you use are safe. Okay? And the last one is results. And results and evaluation and impact. And those are the things that are sometimes a little bit hard to evaluate, but are very, very important. For instance, if you do not have evaluation of your project with your students, they might end up not being happy about the project because they haven't had the chance to just think about all those great things they have accomplished. Also, the result, and I have questions here, so I'll just answer those. What could be indicators for positive long-term impact? For instance, I have a project that I had planned we'll analyze, but we'll skip it this time. Next, where there's a positive impact because students are taught how to use informal English in informal situations. So that means that they'll probably be able to do it after the project as well in similar situations. Also, there might be something that students have created via the project, like a book or a game that can be used to teach something. There was a great mathematics project where they created games for other students to learn mathematics. That's a good long-term positive impact because there is something that can be used afterwards. Another question about results that teachers usually ask is how can you know if the result can be measured? And that's a good question as well. Well, the result must be something that you can say has happened or hasn't happened, or is created or is created. Sometimes in some projects the results are um, are written in a way where you cannot measure if it's done or not, and it shouldn't be the case. And I'm scrolling down. Okay. I don't see questions here. I know that I still have questions on editing, and Liana has added them myself. Does it mean that you have to show it in the description of the project plan? Yes, there are two things, and then to this question, when you want your project to take part in national competition in Latvia, teachers also hand in the description of the process of the project. And one of the questions there is to tell about how students took part in the project. So we see it in those forms. Those forms are not public, so I cannot share one with you, but if you have a great project that you will want to move towards the year prize, you will get that form and you'll have to fill it. Okay. Lena also tells me that you wanted to know about those emails on the top of Google Documents. If you have a Gmail account, the Google Documents know who you are and they add your name. If you do not have a Google account, you get a random animal and write from the name of that animal. That's a little side thing there. Okay, so there's that. I hope that you hear me better without the video on. I really, really hope so. I will reset the moods again. And I would like you to just think about what I just told and whether you understood how those criteria work. Maybe you still have a question, so now's the time to raise your hand and ask the question. Oh, I like seeing all those thumbs up. Makes my day every day. But even if you have a thumb down or a question, do it now or stay silent forever. No, well, at least until you need to know and you write me an email. Yeah, I see many thumbs up. It's great. And 2 questions. Christel and Genevieve still have questions. Oh no, one of the questions gone. Genevieve, if you can write your question in chat, please. Oh, Viva, that's to answer your question. A good example would be, for instance, if you're using a music in creating a movie, at the end of the movie, you give credit to the author. You say the music is taken from this and that author. And the best thing is if the music is also publicly available. Lots of applications are available to use in education. So you just have to check the license of the music or picture or video that you want to use. And if the license says you can use it in education, you can use it, but you have to give credit to the author. Okay? I hope I answered that question. As I promised, I will also add information about Creative Commons license on our TwinSpace. So I think those are the main things about criteria. Genevieve said that it was hard to write comments. Okay, I'll say that I could share my desktop, but I'm afraid that the connection today is not being nice to us. Helen, I hope you can read it through because it's still there. Well, anyhow, since we have 2 minutes left, I will not give you the last extra activity, but don't be scared. You still did plenty today, and I'm really happy about the work that we do, and I'm happy that most of you didn't have the problems that some of us still had the last time. And I hope it's just going to get better and better, and you'll get more comfortable using TwinSpace and using AnyMeeting and Google Documents and some other tools that we're going to use. However, I see so many thumbs up today that I'm very, very happy about it. And even if you had thumbs down or if something didn't work, please feel free to ask me and Lena. Now, before we go, I still have some things that I have to tell you. And I've seen, Ulla, I've seen your question, and I will answer that when I'll talk about homeworks, okay? So this last task, which was an extra task, I've added, we don't do it now, but if you're not sure whether you understand the criteria or would be able to use it, you can do this task on your own. I have added information about the project, which was called Wonderful Ideas in Learning Language, and it was a project in English, so I suppose it will be interesting for all of you. And it was also a project that got national prize in Latvia in 2014. It's a great project. I suggest you look for it. And try to evaluate the project using the criteria. Try to evaluate it. And I've also made an evaluation slide, but that's not that important. You can do it on a slip of paper. And then I'm going to quickly run over the next slide. So the next slide, I'll quickly run over. The next slide contains the evaluation of one of the team of the jury who evaluated the project using that criteria. So basically what you can do, you can just look through the project. You'll probably get some nice ideas and try to think to yourself, how many points would I give this project? And when you've done that, just check whether your conclusions are similar to the ones of the jury, and you should get a decent understanding of how you understand those criteria. Okay. And I know, Ulla, I've promised you, so I'll start that. At the previous home task, me and Lena, we are going to evaluate all of the home tasks on Sunday morning. So until Sunday morning, if you haven't done the first home task yet, you can still do it. And on Sunday morning, we will send each of you an email explaining how many points you got, and if something's not there, we'll just write it and you can fix it and get better points, okay? So on Sunday morning, me and Lena are going to look through your home tasks, and we are going to send email to each one of you. And if there will be some problems and issues, we'll solve them. And about the next home task. So there's the description. I will also send it to your email afterwards, but I'll shortly describe it now so that there weren't any problems. Yeah, I see that some of us have holidays, but we'll think up something. If you cannot access your students, you can just try and make sure that you write down the things that you already know. And those who have access to their students, you have to make a short survey or a task that helps you find out about about the skills that your students want to learn and their interests. And after that, you have to try to make conclusions about which skills your students want to learn the most, which are the interests you can teach those skills through, as well as what are the things from your own experience that you can offer for your students, and what would be the things that you would need extra from your partner that you're trying to find. And for this homework, okay, I see that I'll take it, I'll read through your comments. If anybody else has time off, just write it and I'll change the date so you can hand it in later, okay? Because it wouldn't make sense for you to try and do it without students. Just write it in the chat and Liana will probably sum it up and we'll just change the date. So don't worry about that, okay? I'll change the date and you have to hand it in later. I'll put it in the email. And when you've done that, you have to create a diary entry. And remember, we have a journal on our TwinSpace, so you just add the information in the journal, okay? And also, I have added evaluation criteria, and you can get 7 points for this homework, and I have explained how the points are appointed. So if you can just read it through before you do your homework, you will probably be able to say for yourself how many points you'll get. So there you go. Just reminding about the assessment during the course. Home tasks make the biggest proportion of everything, so please be sure to do them timely on a change the date, considering you have time, which is great. You'll have your Valentine's Day all for yourselves. Okay, and we've come to the last part. I'm sorry I've kept you 5 minutes longer than planned, but I really, really would appreciate if you could fill the evaluation of the meeting so that me and Liana would know what to think about and how it worked for you. And here, please add all of the questions you still have. Just add them here about content or course or help that you need. And that would conclude our today's meeting. And thank you again. I'm just amazed of how great you work, even though for many of you this is something new and maybe a little bit scary, but I believe that together we can get through this, and at the end of the course all of you will be using these tools without any problems whatsoever. And thank you for a very productive work during the evening. And see you in 2 weeks on 26th of February. I would like to have a time off in February, right, Liana? Our students only get holidays in March. Okay, so thank you very much. See you in 2 weeks. And please, please fill out the evaluation form. I'll end the meeting in a second, but if you still have any questions, just write them down.